Hello guys, welcome and welcome to this beautiful tutorial. What I want to be sharing with us today, if you are a beginner especially, this is for you. If you are new to 3ds Max and you want to learn how to render with 3ds Max, how to set up basic lighting and camera setting, having a very good and wonderful render scene, having a good result, then I'll urge you to stick to the end of this the end of this video, because what I'm going to be sharing with you right here is how to basically use 3ds Max and get the best out of it, from simple environment setup, simple renders and all of that. Without saying much, let's just get in and get it started. Okay, right here we have Revit before us and we have 3ds Max. So what I want to be doing is I want to be showing us first of all how to export from Revit to 3ds Max. Like so many people, they have different ways of doing it, but I have a very good way that I recommend that you do it this way, and you have a very, at the end of the day, you have a very clean and sharp model, because at times the way you import your model also determines how your output is going to look. If your model which you imported is weak in terms of materials and in terms of the model in general, I don't know how to put this now, then also your output is not going to come out clean as well. Like if you are importing a model with let's say you model with SketchUp, and you are importing from SketchUp FBS, it's not going to be as sharp as importing from Revit. Revit works very well with 3ds Max, maybe because it was made by same company, it was developed by same company, which is Autodesk. Maybe that's the reason why they worked very well, they work together than any other modeling software. That's what I think. But I know that Revit works pretty well when you are exporting Revit FBS or Deep WG or whichever format you are importing into 3ds Max. So without further ado, without wasting much of your time, let's just jump right in. I just wanted to do a little intro so you will know the difference between this stuff. So right here, what I normally do is I'll just come to File and I click on File, then open this up and I'll come to Export. What I normally do is I export with FBS. FBS works perfectly for me. Some guys will come over and use DWG, which is another good way to export, but normally I like sticking with FBS. And again, you can even import the Revit 3D model as it is with the Revit original file. You can also do that, but I like using FBS. So let's export with FBS. I'll just click on FBS and let's wait for the dialog box to open up, and right here it is. Although I've already saved this model some time ago, I used it, I've already rendered it, but I just, for the sake of this tutorial, I decided to use this model for this tutorial. So I'm just going to, here is the name, so I'm just going to click yes. It's asking me if I want to replace it. I'll just say yes, replace the file. Okay, let's wait for it to load up. Okay, it's loading, it's exporting. All right, now it has been exported. So let's come back to 3ds Max, and now here we have 3ds Max. And basically what some people do, if they want to import, they will just come over to File and they will come to Import, and they will just, it's either they use the import or merge, replace, link Revit, like what I mentioned earlier. You can link Revit directly without converting it to any other file, then which is the FBS which we linked to, which is this one. Then we have linked AutoCAD, which is the same thing as DWG, which I mentioned earlier. But we are not going to be using any of these imports. Why? Because I will explain that in a later. While the video is ongoing, we'll have need for that. I will explain that, but for now, you come to reference and you come to manage link. What we are going to be doing now, instead of just importing directly, we are going to be linking 3ds Max with our Revit software, so that in the future, whichever changes we make to this our present model within Revit, it will also affect our model inside 3ds Max, so that it will be easy and smooth for you to work with, so that you don't have to come back and start importing and reloading again. Once I link these two softwares together, whatever I do here, it automatically affects the other model. So it reduces the stress. You understand what I'm trying to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link, instead of just importing the model and just forgetting all about Revit. So the best thing is to link the both of them together. So as we go along, you will see the need for it. So let's click on manage link, and this opens up. Then we come over to file, and I click on file, and let's just search for where the model is located, and we just import. So I have a special folder where I save all my FBS files to. I'll just search for it. So this is it, and I'll just click on open. So now it opens up. Let me quickly draw your attention to something. As you can see on files, this part is blank, and we'll soon come back to it. I will show you something, but just notice this part that is blank. Now let's go back to attach. So where we have it now, I will attach this file. Click on attach, and it will load up. Okay, right here we have this, and now it's asking us if we want to create a daylight system. Of course, we are not going to use the default daylight system, because we are going to be creating our own from the scratch. So I will just click on no, because I don't want to use the default settings. So I'll just hold on. Okay, and now it's right here. So what I'll do right now is I'll come to the left corner of the right corner of my screen, and I'll just click on this maximize viewport toggle. So will give us a full screen, so that we can work very well and better. Okay, I'll just delete this and zoom in. I have some lights which has been imported from 3ds from Revit. I'll just hide these lights. So I'll just click on this, select similar, so I can hide those lights, because we won't be needing them. We'll be doing everything on our own. So I'll just close this up, this arrow. So I'll just come over to hide selection. Okay, now as you can see, all the lights are now hidden. Then what I'll do next is to come to my top view by just pressing the T button, and it will bring me to the top view. So let's put it at default shading. So now we have our model, which we have imported from Revit, clean and ready to be add. We are ready to add some textures and some lightings to the scene. But first of all, what we have to do is we just save this model, so that in case anything happens along the line, we'll still be safe. So let's just click on Ctrl S, and this opens up. What I normally do, I usually save with the name that I imported with from Revit, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's just name it as text. Okay, so we just click on save. Okay, right now it has been saved, so let's just add the camera. That is the first thing we want to do. First of all, let's add the camera and adjust our camera to suit the way we want it to be. Let's drag this and put it into position. That's the V-Ray toolbar. Okay, right now friends, what I'm going to do now, we have two rendering engines. Basically I use two rendering engines. I use the Corona render and the V-Ray render, but for this tutorial we are going to be focusing on the V-Ray render alone. Now friends, we have V-Ray render and Corona render, but what I'll be focusing on in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the V-Ray render alone, because that is what we are going to be using as our rendering engine. Corona works very well for renderings just as V-Ray, but if you want a very good and fast rendering, Corona can give you a very fast rendering, but if you want the well detailed render, then you should go for V-Ray. So let's use V-Ray for this tutorial. Then first of all, what we are going to be doing is to set our scene, our workspace to V-Ray. So now let's just come over to render setup. Then let's change this art render to V-Ray advanced. Let's bring this down and scroll down, then let's assign this. Okay, it's assigned already, then let's save it as default. So we click on OK. Now it has been set as default. Don't worry, just leave every other settings. The only thing I want to do now is I will just adjust the output size to HDTV, which is recommended. You can also use your custom. If you want to customize a particular output size, you can do that, but for me I always like going with this HDTV. So I'll just click on this HDTV, and that will be all for now about the rendering settings. First of all, what I want to do, let's just close this up. Don't touch any other settings yet. What I want to do first is I want to place my camera. So here I have my physical camera, which is located within the V-Ray toolbar, or I can also come over to this part and click on camera, then this opens up. I will see physical camera here, or I'll just go down. You see I have V-Ray, you have V-Ray dual cam. It's not complete, but I'll just come over, use standard and physical camera, or I'll just come over to this toolbar and same thing, whichever way you want to go and click on it, the same thing. So I'll just click on physical camera and let's just position it at this angle. Okay, now that we have placed our camera, let's do some little tweak to it. I'll just press on my F key, which is front. Okay, then I'll go to move and I'll adjust it a bit upwards. Then I'll press my C. Okay, let's just do some little adjustments. I'll press the C on my keyboard and it will bring the camera up. So let's set this to from wireframe to default shading. Okay, now we have our model beautiful and nice. So let's first of all, what we have to do is add an environment, which is basically one very important thing, like why most of us are watching this video in the first place. So I'll just, what the environment we are going to be using, we are going to be using HDRI and then Doom lights. Then I'll press on my top key, my T to bring up the top. Then I'll just go to Doom lights and place my Doom lights right here. Okay, so now I have my Doom light right here. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll come over to render and I'll go over to environment, click on environment, and it opens us the dialog box, and I'll click on Mr. Sky right here where you have environment map. Here we'll be loading our HDRI, and I'll click on this and okay, bitmap. No, we are not using bitmap. We're going to scroll down, you see V-Ray, then look for HDRI. I'll click on HDRI and okay. Then now, as you can see, it has been opened. Then what I'm going to do again is we'll come over to V-Ray material. Okay, set this mode to slate material editor. Sorry, compact editor. We are using compact editor. I'll just make this smaller so I can have all of them in one place. Okay, now that it has been opened, I will just drag this and place it in one of the slots. Okay, instance. Okay, now it has been opened. As you can see, it's totally blank because there's no HDRI loaded into it for now. So let's put in a map, and I'll just click on this. There's a map I just downloaded not quite long, so let me try and locate it. Come to HDRI. Okay, here it is. I'll just click on open, and here we have it. So what I'm going to do now is this mapping type, you change it from 3ds Max standard to spherical, and here just for now leave every other settings, then we'll come back to that again. Now what we are going to do is let's adjust our sun, the HDRI sun, and make sure it fits into this Doom light, so that we'll have a very good shadow, because if they are not in same position, we might not have that good shadow. It might not cast a very good shadow. So we have to put this light in the direction of our HDRI sun. Then what I'll do now is to come over to this default shading, and I'll click on this, and I'll come over to environment background. So let's hold on, it comes up. Okay, now we have it. Then I'll just click on P to bring it to perspective view. I'll just go ahead and click on P. So here we have our scene. So now I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay, let's put it on environment background. Okay, so we have it. If I zoom in, sorry, please pardon my PC. Okay, Now as you can see the direction of the sun, it's coming from behind the building, and here is where we have our HDRI. And what I want to do is I want my sun to come from this angle. Let me show you what I mean. Watch this line. I want my sun to come from this angle. So I want my sun to come from this angle so that the light casting from this and the sun, they will match together. Because if your light is coming from, if your sun is coming from this angle and your light is at this place, you will not have a good shadow at the front. So it's better you move the light to where the sun is coming from. So if I want to keep the sun at the position where it is, I have to move my HDRI back to where the sun is coming from, so that I can have a good shadow at the shadow effect for my rendering. So that will give us a very good realistic rendering. So I will just come back and let's put it on perspective P. Okay, now we see where our light is coming from. Bring back the material editor. Just bring back the material editor. Let's close this for now. Bring back the material editor. So what I'll do, I will change the rotation. I will change the horizontal rotation to, let's put a value of 150 and see what that gives to us. Okay, now you see the position of the sun has changed. So let's confirm if it's okay right where it is. Okay, very good, very good, guys. You see where the sun is currently. You see where the sun is coming from. Let's zoom in. Okay, you see where the sun is right now. It's coming from the top. You see where it is right now, and you see where our HDRI is. Very good. It's no longer at the back. So that's what you just do, your little adjustment, and make sure the sun is well positioned. Then now I'll go back to my camera now that I have my sun. Now that I have my sun, I will just come to render. Let's see what we have already. So I'll just click on interactive render and see what we have. Okay guys, as you can see, it's totally blank. Now we can't see anything. So let's do some adjustments to our scene. Now we have our camera. Don't do any settings, don't touch the camera settings. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be adjusting the HDRI, the HDRI and zoom light, then our rendering setup. That's what we are going to be adjusting. Then let me go over to my HDRI and confirm if the light is okay. Okay, now I have my HDRI set. The multiplier is set at 1.0. Instead of that, I will take it down to 0.1. okay, so let's go back to our rendering and see what that gives to us. So as you can see, it's more visible now than what it was before. Now let's come to exposure, and for now let's leave the exposure as it is. Then let's come back to our render setup and come back to our environment, and here we have the physical camera exposure. Right here, what we are going to do, we are going to set it at, put it on no exposure control. Okay, now we have that. Then let's come back to our rendering and see what it's giving. I'll adjust my HDRI, which I've already done this by putting 0.1. now there's no map, no HDRI map. Then let's come over to our HDRI. We'll just drag and drop it in the map and click OK. So let's go back and see. Control C, stop, and let's see how it looks. Okay guys, as you can see, we have our sky right there. Now what we are going to do is we'll add some, first of all let's add some materials, some simple materials, and see how then before we can come back to the environment properly and do a proper adjustment to the environment. First of all, let's add some materials, some simple materials, V-Ray material, not just material, V-Ray materials. So I'll come on and click on this, then I'll click on V-Ray material. Then this comes up, we have this dialog. So let's select all and assign this material to it. It's all V-Ray material. Then let's adjust the brightness to white and click on OK. So let's render and see how it looks. Beautiful. Now we have some good, you can see we have some good shadows over this place. We are having some good shadows, and now we're going to come over to this part and let's adjust the exposure, which I think is too bright. We'll just bring down exposure a little bit. So as you can see, we can now see our model. You can see the windows and every part of it. If you increase it, you see everything gradually disappear. So let's bring it down. And perfect. We have a very nice shadow coming from the sun and the HDRI, which is lighting up the scene, and beautiful and nice. So now let's add some good materials to our model. So let's stop this. Okay, the rendering is done already. Let's just add some good materials to it. So guys, basically if you follow right through from the beginning of this video to the end, you should be able to get some good quality results from your rendering. So okay, now let's add some glass material. We'll come over. First of all, what I'll do, I like my white to be really white, good whites, and I will come to self illumination and click on these black spots, and I will increase the illumination to white. As you can see, it's brighter than before. The white is no longer dull. So let's just leave this as it is. So first of all, let's create the glass material, and we are going to be using V-Ray as well. So here, for a good material, a glass material, I'll click on the diffuse. I'll put it to black, completely black, let's assign it. Then for my reflection, I'll bring it down completely to white because I want my glass to be completely reflective. Then my refraction, what this does is how well do you want your glass to be transparent, and I'll just bring this down because I don't want it to be too transparent. At least let there be some transparency on my scene, my glass on my glasses. So I'll just click on, put it at the value of 111, and I'll click on OK. Now as you can see, let's bring this up. Let's increase it. Now let's put a background to see what exactly we are doing. Okay, now here you see I have my lights, my glass right here, and it's not reflective. Let's add some reflection. Even as we have increased this white to make it very reflective, we still need to put on our glossiness to add some little glossy to it. You know, naturally glass are glossy, so let's put on this glossiness and let's reduce this to 95, which will give it a very nice glossy finish. As you can see, the glossy is coming out. The lesser the value, the more glossiness it will be. So I will just, the more glossy it will be, I will just increase this, and I'll just increase it to 95, which is perfect for me. Then I'll just leave every other settings as it is. Then I can, the maximum depth, I can leave it at, just put it at 8. So for now, every other setting, let's just leave it as it is. Okay, so we have that. And now the next thing I'm going to be do, as you are working, always remember to click on your Ctrl S to save, in case anything, maybe your 3ds mask, maybe it clashes, then you will still have your file, your model save. So let's add a roof material. I have these shingles I normally use for my roof, so I'll just come right here, V-Ray material, come to diffuse, click on diffuse. I'll go over to map, click on map, and OK. Then it brings this up. Then let's locate where our map is. Double click on it and look for, I'll just try and locate where my, okay, here they are. I have this right here, I have this, so let's use the lighter one, or this one looks okay, but let's use this one, the lighter one. I'll just click on open, and right here we have it. So I'll just assign it to my roof. So as you can see, it's blank, it's not showing. So I'll come right here and show a shaded material in viewport. I'll click on this. Now it has shown this. Now it's still small, not looking very good. Then I'll come over to material, modify. I'll come to modify, and I'll drop down this menu, and I'll look for map scaler, and I'll click on map scaler. As you can see, it has been scaled. I can decide to increase it to maybe to 200. So this is not looking so good. It's out of proportion, so let's just leave it at 100. 100 is looking more realistic. Then I'll just, so that is done. So the roof cap and ridges, I would also like to change that to a color that's close to the material itself, to the roof material itself. So I'll still click on V-Ray material, click on this and drag this up, so it will be closely in color. It will be close in color with the roof material. So that is okay, which is very, very good. Then what else? Okay, we still have some glasses on our scene that we've not assigned the materials to yet. We have our railing, which is also glass, so we have this right here. So basically that is how you go about your 3D design. Then for our grass, I want to use a V-Ray grass, but for the sake of the tutorial, maybe I will make another special video on that, on how to create your V-Ray grass. For now, let's just use a map, just a picture, a map for our grass. So here we are. I will just come right here to diffuse, and I'll click on map. Okay, then I'll look for that grass material and I'll click on OK, open. Then again I will assign this. Then I'll come again to show shaded material in viewport, and now you see our grass is right here. Then what I want to do again is to come over to modify again and click on a map scaler. Again, it has scaled our grass. Now let's add some pavement to our floor. I'll click on the floor again and I'll come to an empty slot, then click on V-Ray material, and this opens up again. Then same way I'll go right to where my files are located, my maps. Okay, let's use this for our floor. Okay, our pavement, same thing. I will click on show shaded material in viewport, and this opens up. Then I've already assigned that material to that part. So what I'll do again now is to come over to map scaler once again, and as you can see, it has been scaled. Then what else? My floor, the tile, same thing. I can as well go ahead, V-Ray material, same way. If I have any other material I want to use for my tile, for example, let's make use of this wooden floor. Okay, now we have that on our floor. I'll just assign this. It has been assigned. Again, I'll make it visible in viewport. Okay guys, basically this is how it isn't as smooth to apply our V-Ray material. Okay, this also needs, okay, I'll add some glass to the door because I notice our door has some glass material. Okay, now I will add this again. Okay, so what's next? What's next? Okay, what I want to do again now is to add maybe some bricks to some part of my wall, which is this part. Okay, let's close this up. This part and this part right here. So V-Ray material once again. I'll come over to diffuse map again and open up. Then I'll try and locate which one I want to use now. Okay, let's use this looks good, and I'll click on OK. Once again, show shaded material in viewport. Here it is. Come back again to V-Ray, then to modify, and go right there to map scaler, and as you can see, it has been scaled. So far, let's see how this looks on our rendering. Okay, let's render, see how this turns out. Okay guys, see how beautiful this is. Looking good, very okay. So what else are we going to do? As you can see, the white is really whitish, like very white. We can come over to let's stop this. Okay, stop. Then you can come over to your white, where you have your white material, and we'll reduce this our self illumination. Take it down a bit. Okay, that is perfect. Let's leave it at this. So let's add some artificial lighting to our scene, since we already have. Okay, first of all, our road, which is also lacking one material, I'll just click on this. I'll click on open bitmap. I'll look for a material that looks like asphalt. Okay, this is it, and I'll click on OK. Apply and show in viewports. Come over to map scaler once again, and I'll click on map scaler, and as you can see, it has been applied. So what I'll do, I'll just add a little glossiness to glossy to the asphalts, as asphalts are naturally glossy in nature. So I'll just add a little glossy to make it kind of realistic. Drag this down a bit, very little, not much. So I'll put this on high glossiness, and I'll increase this to, I'll just leave it at 99, which is very okay. So let's render, guys, and see how it looks. Okay guys, you see how beautiful this is. Okay, we have too much glossiness on our asphalt. I think we are going to take that off, but so far so good. We are having a very good and nice model. As you can see, the shadows are well in a very good angle. We have our roof material coming out well. We have our the bricks on the wall. Then we have our grasses, everything nice and beautiful. Then our sky also, which is very good. So you can decide to use any other sky, but always make sure your environment matches your sky. The sky from your HDRI matches the same direction as your zoom light. So this is it. Maybe sometime I'll make a special video on how to make your road look much more realistic than what we have here. But for now, let's just leave this as it is, because I'm just basically doing this video for beginners. If you are a beginner and you want to use you want to learn how to use V-Ray, 3ds Max V-Ray for your rendering, this is a very good way to start. Okay guys, now right here we have this, and what I'll be doing next is add some artificial lighting to the scene. Now, like this the porch, this terrace, we just add a simple light material to it. Then I'll come over to my top view, and I'll come over to V-Ray plain lights, and I'll click on that, and I'll drag, and I'll just drag and make it cover up the whole place. That's my porch right there. Then I'll just make some adjustments to it. V-Ray plane, the multiplier, I'll just reduce it to 15. Then the color of the light, let's make it a bit warmer. Let's make it a bit warmer to make it look good. Okay, no, that's not a good light color. Okay, all right, so what are we going to adjust? All right guys, let's just say okay, this is okay for now. So let's go to our view, to our front view, and adjust it into position. So I'll just raise this right up and make it close to the ceiling. Then come back to my adjustment. I'll make this invisible in rendering, in the sense that once I render, let's go back to our camera. So as you can see, the light is right there. So let's render. Let me quickly explain something right here. So as you can see, it is very bright, and it's too bright because we are not seeing the reflection is too much. So what I'll do, I'll take it down to, I'll stop this right now, and I'll take it down to like 5 and render again. Let's see what it gives to us. Okay guys, so as you can see, the reflection is still very high. I would still like to reduce it a bit to like, let's say to 5 to 2. Okay, to 2. Then come down to option and make it invisible in rendering. So once we render now, you see the light, we only will see the source, we'll see we'll see the effects from the light, but we will not see the lighting source. So let's click on render and see how it is. So as you can see, we can see the ceiling right now, though it's not very clear, but you can see the ceiling, which is quite different from what we had before. Okay, now we have our lighting source, which is still okay. Once we are ready for our final rendering, once we render, you see the light will come out very well. But I think the light effect, the illumination is still too bright. We can reduce that a bit. Stop the rendering and see how. Let's just put it to of 1, with the value of 1, which is perfect. So we have this, and what I'll do, I'll just copy it and wireframe. So I'll just copy the light and drag it to other parts where I want the light to be. Of course, I want these two lights to have same instance. I'll click on instance and click on OK. So let's make adjustments to this scale. And guys, sorry if I didn't explain this scale, all these two right here. Basically, as you have it in Revit and AutoCAD, you have your move, you have your rotate, you have your scale, which is one very important tool you must work with within 3ds Max. Then I'll just adjust this into position. Okay, good and nice. So now we have it right here. Then I'll click on come and put it on right view. So as you can see, we have it there and we have it here. Okay guys, that is how it is done, smooth and nice. Now let's go back to our material editor and see what we can place. Now I think I have a different material right here. Okay, view a material, and click on add this. Let's change this to something to a different color. Alright guys, this is not too bad. It's just for the sake of the tutorial, though you can adjust it to just anyhow to the preferred color, however you want your color to look. Okay, so let's just go with this one for now. So let's add a little reflection to the material, adjust a bit, and high glossiness and put it at 99. Okay, which is good, very good, very good. And always remember to press your Ctrl S while you work, so in case you have any, so you don't have to lose your work as you are working. Something might happen and maybe your software could encounter some problems and run and crash. So let's render this and see how it looks. Beautiful and nice. So guys, as you can see, this is looking very good. So guys, if you are getting value from this, please subscribe and leave a like for this video, because it helps us to grow and it helps us to stay relevant on the YouTube platform. So guys, basically this is how it's done. So what we are going to be doing next is adding some components like some trees, cars, and all of that to our environment to make it even more realistic. So let's cancel this and come to the viewport. What we are going to be doing is just simple drag and drop, come over to okay, I'll just try and locate where I have my trees. And okay, so first of all I need to see the trees that I'm importing. Plants, merge file. Okay guys, so there we have that, and looking good and nice. Let's add some more trees to it and import, merge, okay, 15, 15, merge file. Okay, use auto rename material. No, I don't want that. I need it to come with default material. Drag and drop, merge file, use. I really don't know why this one is not coming in with material, but let's try something else. Okay guys, I think there's some error, there's something which I'm not doing. So what I'll do now, because I want that material, as I drag it in, I want it to come with its default material. So I'll come to V-Ray, I'll come to App Store, relink bitmap, because it seems they are not coming in with their bitmap. So what I'll do, I'll just come to tree. Okay, it's right there already. Click on relink. Okay, so as you can see, that has bring up this material. So guys, what this basically done is, if you import your materials, at times they will just come in like gray like this, and it will not come with the default material. So to have the map come in with it, what you have to do is you can download this plugin and install it. It's called App Store link. I will also leave the software, where you can download it. I'll leave it in the description. The link to the software, I'll leave it in the description so that you can download and install. So that is what it does. In case you try to drag and drop your materials and you are not seeing the bitmap along with it, let me group this so I can just distribute it along. So that is it. So I'll just delete this one and bring it back again. So I'll just drag it again and see if it works this time. Merge, use merge material. Okay, I guess this doesn't have the map material within that folder, because if it does, it would have shown. So let's try something else. Let me drop in this palm tree. Okay, same thing, this palm tree is not coming in with the material. So let me relink and see how. Okay, beautiful. So as you can see, what I was telling you, now this tree, it didn't come, but that's why you need that App Store. So once again, let me group this. Okay, now let's just drag them into position. Let me increase the size and scale it up. Okay guys, let's drag these trees into position so we can block the sky behind. Okay, okay guys, you see how this is being done, nice and smooth. So we have some trees around, and let's add some more trees and okay guys, let's add some plants. Let's add some more plants to our scene. Merge, use merge material. I'll group this together and drag it into position. Okay. Okay guys, I think we have some goods. So we have some plants, some trees in our scene, and they are all looking very, very good, looking nice and cool. Okay guys, so let's render, and there is something important I'll quickly want to talk about. But first of all, let's are you watching with my data?
No.
You went somewhere now, you press something there. You enter something. And now before you talk that thing, I know say you don't press something when concerning internet. So guys, as you can see, our model is coming out beautiful and nice, very okay. So guys, what I want to quickly show us, as you can see in this from our window, we can't really see the reflection of the environment. You can see from this glass we can't see the reflection of the environment, that is the sky and the things that are around it. Then how are we going to fix that? We come over to rendering setup, come over to rendering setup, come to V-Ray tab and come to environments. So now we have our GI, put on your GI and GI environments. Then we have our reflection, so stroke refraction environments, and I'll click on that to turn on both of them. As you can see, this is black and this is sky blue, and what I'll do is I'll just drag and drop the environments, this map into them, so that our glasses can reflect our environment. Okay, so that is how that is done. If I render, next time I render, you see the environment, our glasses will have that environment. So guys, basically that is how it is easy and simple to use 3ds Max. So if you want to learn how to get a quality rendering out of 3ds Max, to get a sharp rendering, I'm going to making a separate video on that, or you can as well check on YouTube. There are so many other videos that are centered on making my use of English and all of that, but all the same, thank you for watching and goodbye. See you in my next video.